What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
If y'all been catching the Twitch live streams that Shana and I have been doing these last couple of weeks, y'all know that we've been playing Outriders super hard.
Yep.
The demo's been out for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Demo's been going great. It's super long for a demo. It's like the whole first part of the game minus like customizations of your gear.
Mm-hmm.
But the demo gives you a lot to do. You can try all the classes, and we're still working our way through all the classes as many times as we've played. It's been fun. We are definitely really hyped about this game to be released. The game releases on April 1st. That should be the day that this podcast will air. I wish it could be April 1st right now.
I know, I've been waiting so long for this game.
There hasn't been a shooter game that I've been really hyped about for a while.
For me, it's been since Destiny, really.
Yeah. Been looking for a new, what they call a looter shooter. Pretty much you shoot the bad guys and get some cool gear and some cool clothes. Even in a video game, Shauna's all about the fashion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm all about the color changing, outfit changing, cool guns and things.
With that said, the looter shooter game genre has been very plagued with tryhards.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes hand in hand. Any kind of game where you get gear and custom stuff, there's always tryhards. Even right now with the Outriders demo, Shana and I have already experienced our fair share of tryhards popping in the stream or popping in our game. We've been playing crossplay online. For those that don't know what crossplay is, it means it doesn't matter what system you're playing on, PC, Xbox, PlayStation 4 or 5, you can play with other people on different platforms. There's been times where we have forgot to set the game match on private and some random people have just joined us. Of course, they had to be tryhards.
Mm-hmm.
But before we move on about tryhards, let's break down what a tryhard is.
Irritating.
Irritating. What's your definition of a tryhard?
Someone who wants to power through the game right away. Someone who doesn't take time to enjoy the specs of the game. They just want to hurry up and get a legendary weapon or a legendary item and hurry up and like be overpowered than everybody else just so they can have bragging points.
That's a fair definition of a tryhard. It's right there in the words. It's someone that tries too hard early on. I don't want to knock someone for trying to complete a game, getting all the things, but it comes to a point where if you try to do everything too early just for bragging points, it kind of becomes a negative thing, at least to gamers like us.
Oh, yeah.
I think the other part of the try-hard definition for me is someone who does all this just so they can brag or talk shit and look down on other people. That's the catch. Again, I'm not trying to knock anyone for being a completionist or getting all the cool stuff in the game, but I do have negative feelings towards the people that try to do it right away just so they can talk shit to other people. That brings us to today's topic. Why do tryhards always have to ruin a good game that you're enjoying?
Right.
With this Outriders demo, I can't believe how many tryhards are actually out there already. It's one thing when they're doing it in their own realm, but they're popping into our game and our streams.
It's been a while since this kind of game has come out. I think the last one really that I can think of off the top of my head was Fallout 76, where you could play online, pretty much kind of the same thing. But I'm not surprised because we're still in a pandemic. There's still people that are working from home. People are like just waiting in the shadows, like waiting for their time to shine again on these like looter shooter games. When we were playing the demo, somebody popped on my chat because I was streaming. Someone popped in my stream and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing this game. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, pretty normal kind of situation." Then he goes, "Well, you know this game comes out in 4 days, so you better hurry up and start farming as much as you can. You better start doing this and that." I'm like, okay, dude, like, here we go again. Here we go. Somebody who's trying to be a tryhard. There's nothing wrong with you trying to really, like, get something that you want in the game, but it's another thing to get on someone's stream or come in someone's chat and just talk about like how you need to hurry up and do this because you're wasting precious farming time.
Oh yeah, he was pretty much telling us what to do. He went into how long he's been farming. He's like, I've been farming for the last 3 days to get this weapon and this.
And it's just the demo. And mind you, the demo for Outrider will bleed into the full game. So I get why people are farming, but it's not that serious, honestly. Because you can only farm so much in the demo right now. And it's like, I get where you're going, but it's not that serious.
Yes, as Shauna said, whatever you do in the demo, those stats and whatever you get carry over.
Mm-hmm.
But is it that serious to where this dude was farming for 3 days straight? That's all he did was play the same area nonstop. He was talking about farming like 12 hours a day in just this one spot. Why?
That's like a full-time job, homie, with overtime.
Yeah.
12 hours a day. Oh my God.
Also, on that same note, a lot of people that farmed the first week or two that the game was out, they lost all the stuff they farmed for. There was either some glitch. I'm starting to think that the developers were like, you know what, tryhards, deleted all their legendaries. I got on Twitch to see all the people playing Outriders, everyone's titles. Lost my legendaries, lost 6 legendaries, lost 12 legendaries. Just everyone's title was, I lost my legendaries. I finally tuned in on a couple people.
Mm-hmm.
People were just bitching. I don't know what happened. I logged in today. I had 6 legendary guns, all
God.
gone. I farmed for a whole week. One of the legendaries you can get comes from this boss.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend had told us it's a 1 out of 300 chance. That means you have to fight this boss 300 times and you're guaranteed 1 legendary.
So you have to think about it. Like, these people were really just there for like 36 hours, 48 hours at a time. Just, oh my God.
1 out of 300. Does that mean the whole squad gets it? Because you can play up to 3 people on a team. Or does only 1 person get it? My friend didn't explain that because we gave up when he told us that. I thought it was just like a 1 in 10 chance. I was like, cool, I'll try it. But then he's like, we got to do this 300 times. I was like, nope, done farming. Not that serious.
Especially on a stream. Like, I wouldn't want to watch somebody farm that many times, playing the same thing over and over and over again.
With people losing their legendaries and everything they farm for, I was once again shocked that people would still go back and try it again.
Mm-hmm. The beauty of the Outriders demo is that you can play through the different class types in the game. So right now I'm playing as a person that can use fire. There's also another character that can use it's like a trickster, kind of like Nightcrawler and an X-Men, where he like pop up everywhere.
He can teleport.
Yeah, teleport, and then you can do you can play as a support character or a heavy kind of player. And you can play through as each one, so you can, get the feel for each character and see what you want to play through long term. And that's what we were doing in the demo, because the demo doesn't go for that long. And it's not that we wanted to experience what the demo had to offer. So we're playing through different characters on my stream. And that same person that was talking shit about there's only 4 days left to go, farm before the full game comes out, was also talking shit about the fact that we were trying out the different characters, because he was playing as only one character and not even experiencing what this demo had to offer.
Someone else came on the stream like the day after, said the same thing. He noticed our stats were pretty low. He's like, did you guys just start this game? No, we're doing another playthrough. We're trying out different classes. This dude started getting on my case like, why would you do that? I'm only playing as this class and I'm trying to build the best sniper ever. That's cool, but I can't commit to just one class right now. I don't know what the other ones play like. Why would I choose one right now for the whole game?
Right.
It's going to be a long game. I want to make sure I choose the right character. This dude, like the other guy, got in the same speech. No, man, you got to use your time farming and so you can start customizing. Yo, in this demo, you don't even know how deeply you can customize a weapon or something.
You can't even do that really yet.
The developers took that option off because they didn't want people to start farming for like the materials yet.
Right.
I just watched an interview with one of the developers, and that's what he said. We took away the customization because we want people to experience the game and just try everything out. Don't get too obsessed about building the best character, building the strongest characters. There is a whole lot of game for you to play. You will have plenty of time to do all that when the main game comes out.
I know, it's like, slow down, pump the brakes. It's okay. It's just a demo.
Yeah, but this guy just wouldn't let it go. He was just like, no, that's not how you play this game. I'm saving all my items and my materials so I can build a great sniper in this game. That's all I want to do. Long story short, we went back and forth, and I kind of finally just snapped. I was like, well, way to throw away 3/4 of this game. You only want to play as one class forever. You're just wasting some of your money then. You're not even experiencing the game to its fullest. And there's no PvP. PvP is person versus person. The whole game right now is just you and your squad playing against AI. You're playing against the game. That's it. There's no need to be the biggest and the best against the AI in the game. Right now, you don't know what the end game is. You don't know how strong you even have to be by the time the game is done. You sure can be salty when you find out that you can just beat the game with regular level stuff as the game gives it to you.
Yeah, and that's really the beauty of the game is that they want people to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
They want people to play it and have fun. But these people out there who are just such tryhards and want to do everything at once, that's not fun. It might be fun to them, but it's not fun in the long run.
Yeah. It's not fun for everyone else involved, too.
Right.
There was one more guy that just popped in the game with us, super overpowered already. That made the game not fun for Shana and I to play. We're trying to test out this new class. This dude pops in the game and is destroying everyone on screen before we even get a chance to go out in the battlefield.
Right.
We're streaming, so we're stopping to talk to chat. And next thing we know, this dude just runs off in the game and just starts annihilating everyone. There was even times where we were the mission leaders. So you can't progress forward until we select the mission. Because how the game works is if someone chooses to start a quest, the whole team has to agree or else you won't play it. So we just decided not to move forward. This guy starts like shooting at the doorways, trying to hurry us along because he's trying to do what he's trying to do.
Right.
But like, bro, you joined our game. We didn't invite you to come play. So after that, we quickly learned how to block off strangers from playing with you.
Oh, yeah.
Because that kept happening. These dudes kept joining, and then they would start trying to communicate via the game by just shooting around because obviously they couldn't chat with us.
Right. I never have the chat on, just so like stuff like that won't happen because that used to happen a lot when we used to play Destiny back in the day, and that was just horrible.
Yeah,
Horrible experience.
PlayStation Network just used to let people drop in your game without even an invite as long as your game was set to open.
Right.
And they would just drop in and just start talking your ear off.
It's like, hey, and like just start like being assholes and stuff.
I'm glad Outriders is acknowledging the tryhard problems. A lot of tryhards transition to being cheaters in the game. And one feature I love that Outriders is doing is they're going to start labeling these people cheaters. Right next to their name in game, it's going to say cheaters.
Good.
They've already caught people in the demo modding and cheating.
Oh my, is it that serious?
It's a demo.
It's a demo.
There was a couple people on YouTube who were bragging how they have hundreds of legendaries. Like, why do you need hundreds of legendaries? I mean,
for your one character that you want to play as.
I mean, technically, yeah, you could sell these items and break them down. Is it that serious in the demo? And these people went as far as making YouTube videos to show you how to do these hacks and these cheats, which forces the developers to go and do a patch to stop these hacks and these mods. Let them just work on the game launching successfully.
Right.
Let them focus on that. Don't let them waste their time trying to stop you from having a million legendaries. You're ruining the game for everyone else.
I know, it's like we don't even know what's to come. And I'm still one of those gamers that likes to just get in the car and drive and just ride. I don't need to know the destination. I just need to know that I'm going somewhere, that it's going to progress, that it's going to be a scenic route, and I'm going to freaking enjoy it. And that's it.
I'm glad they're taking that step. They're going to label you a cheater, and then to take it a step further, once you're branded a cheater, you can only play with other branded cheaters, which means you'll probably have to play by yourself. Waiting for a matchmaking is going to take forever because you can only play with other people labeled cheaters. If that's not enough, they're going to ban you from the game completely.
Or you got to start completely over without your mods, without your 600 legendaries that you don't need. So it's a win-win situation for everybody else because then it's like, now we can all play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Not like how you want to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand people like that.
And one last note about Outriders, just so my friends out there with legendaries don't think I'm talking shit about them. The difference between y'all getting legendaries early and doing that stuff is you're just doing it for yourself.
Right.
We played with some of you guys. You guys are being cool. We didn't even know what gear you had. It's not like you told us.
Right.
It's not like you were bragging about it all on social media. See, that's the difference. You can go above and beyond and still be cool about it.
Right. Yeah, because I have a few friends on my social media who are just genuine game heads. Like, they just play games and that's what they do. They get the newest and greatest. They play through the game. They're already over leveled because they just want to play the game and just want to see it through. And that's respectable. But those people, the difference is they're not going on being like, "Ooh, look at me," and like trying to like being the best that they can be. Like, this isn't Pokemon. Like, you don't have to catch them all at once, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be these tryhards who just come in people's chat or come in people's streams and just talk shit like, "Look what I can do." All right, dude, cool.
Yeah,
Kudos
but did
to
you shower today? But did you shower today? Have you talked to another human in real life in the last month?
Tryhards mean all the harm.
What games have you played and really enjoyed that a tryhard ruined for you?
All of them. First one was Destiny, and we've done a previous podcast about how video games ruin friendship relationships. Destiny was one of them. I had a lot of friends and a lot of peers who were so excited about Destiny. We were all excited about Destiny at the same time. We all made friends with this game. I made a ton of friends on Destiny. I got half of my followers on Twitch just from playing Destiny. But it just became a toxic community because of all the tryhards.
Yeah.
Most of my friend groups that I made just turned toxic over this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them were spending time leveling up and like, you know, they were so like over leveled and they were doing like the harder quests and the harder things and getting like all these legendary weapons. During that time, I was working full time. I was like not playing games all the time, but I needed help in the game. So I would have my friends help me through the game. I'd call them up and be like, "Yo, I'm on Destiny right now. This is like my only weekend I can play. So can you guys help me, carry me through?" Knowing that I was under leveled, knowing that they were there to help me, they still got attitude with me.
Yeah.
Because they were all over leveled. They were better than me. They're like just looking at me like, "Pick up the pace. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this." Like, I asked you for help. You know good and damn well I'm not here to like be the best that I can be. I just need help to get through the game.
Yeah, a game like Destiny was designed for co-op play.
Oh, yeah.
The whole story was based upon 3-man squads. There were missions designed to be played with 3 people or 6 people. If you got to the end game content, which they called raids, these were 6-man missions.
During the Destiny times, a lot of my peers had already powered through the game like the first week that it came out. As time went by, a lot of those friend groups died off because they just weren't having it anymore. They just wanted to play with people who were on their level. They wanted to play with people who knew how to do the over leveled kind of quests and stuff like that. And they just needed people to be more on their pace, I guess.
Yeah.
And they kind of just left me out of things just because I wasn't playing the game as fast as they were. It really did ruin a lot of relationships. And I don't talk to a lot of those people now. And I feel bad because a lot of those friendships were started from this game.
Yeah.
And that was just a bad memory.
Yeah. Destiny was all fun and games at the beginning because it was simple. All you had to do was play the game.
Yeah.
Score some points and your character levels up. But once you got to a maximum level, getting stronger and getting better gear got tricky. For those that don't know, you had to like get certain materials to upgrade certain things. Then you also had to complete certain missions to get other pieces of gear. And some of my casual gamer friends, they just got lost. They're like, "What do I do now?"
Yeah.
And that was the problem a lot of people were having. Like, the learning curve was pretty steep. A lot of my friends were just like Call of Duty guys. Log on, shoot people, get points, level up. But Destiny, you had to like learn things. You had to learn what materials were needed to upgrade what. You had to know what levels to play. You had to know about this guy that Zer was his name?
Yeah, Zer. He came every Friday or Saturday.
The weekly merchant. Like, you had to see what gear he was selling because sometimes he held special gear. And even in the game lobby, like the game lobby is like this base on like a moon or something. You didn't even know where he was every week. You had to walk around this base until you found him.
And the base was big and empty, and you had to really like look.
Yeah, once again, casual gamers were like, "What the hell do I got? I just want to shoot some stuff with my friends. Like I said, the first part of the game, easy. Everyone logs on. It's just an adventure in space with your friends.
And it was so much fun too. All my friends would be calling me on the weekends, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, what you doing this weekend? You want to hop on the game? Like, we got this quest we want to do." It was so much fun at first, and then everyone just went from that to like, "Nope, close group circle, close game, close whatever," because we trying to like really get these legendaries and really do this, and that's fine. But don't exclude people when they genuinely just want to play, and that's the problem I had with Destiny.
Because that's what started happening. The levels of players started to divide. There was people that knew what to do, and there was people that didn't. Once you got to a certain level and you could get into certain missions, of course, you naturally only want to play with other people that can. That's how you get to the end game content. Once you beat the base of the game, some people don't want to keep playing the basic missions because there were those end game raids that were fun and it was a challenge. That in itself became a task. You had to find other people that had the right gear or were strong enough to even get through those missions because once again, it's endgame stuff. The developers expected your characters to be powerful.
Yeah.
That's what the lines of friendship started to thin. Either you were able to play in the raids and you got tired of playing with people that couldn't, or you couldn't play in the raids and you were tired of your friends not trying to help you get there.
Right.
I know we've talked about this in a previous podcast, but let's get into the fine details of it. We used to play Destiny with this couple. They shared one account at first. It started innocent. We all started Destiny around the same time, made a lot of friends together. It just felt like a slumber party in grade school. Everyone was just chatting and hanging out. There was no stress. It was a game where you just hopped on and just hung out with your friends. Some people didn't even care what the missions were. They just wanted to just hang out. Like that was their virtual chat room.
Right.
Once we finally learned how the game worked, we started playing more often on our own with other people. There was either friends who came to help us get certain pieces of gear, or we had friends that we helped. So that's when the group started like breaking apart. Everyone just kind of wanted to level at their own pace. Backstory about the couple, these were people that we knew in real life.
Oh, yeah.
We would see them at cons throughout the year and we'd hang out. They were like our con group at the time when we first came to California.
Yeah.
Back to Destiny. It started getting serious now because people were ready to play raids. Shana and I were still lower leveled, doing our own thing, but then they would invite us to join their games. Remember, raids need 6 people. We would give them the forewarning. Look, we are barely at the right level to even get in the raid. The game will tell you, you must be at least this strong to play
I remember that.
because you will just get annihilated.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you show up, you just die.
They don't want people suing the game.
Yeah, like you die instantly.
Oh, yeah.
And they were not joking about the minimum level of difficulty. Our friends were like, no, it's cool. It's cool. I got a group that will carry you. This will actually help you guys out. If we get through this raid, you guys will get a lot of points and you'll get gear to be stronger. Are you sure? We don't know these people. We don't want to just join their game because raids do take time. Quick side note about that. Before people figured out the shortcuts to these raids, some of these missions would take 4 to 5 hours to get through.
Oh, yeah.
Like one session. 4 to 5 hours, 6 people have to commit.
Because before you could move on to the next part of this big mission, sometimes people would die or they wouldn't have the right weapons because there was like different class of weapons you had to use for these like things. So like if someone came unprepared, you know, they would die or we had to wait for someone to like leave and then come back. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, and some of these missions required all 6 people to be alive.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone had to get through, generic example, say there were 6 markers that all the characters had to stand on. If you don't have 6 characters to stand on these markers, the door's not going to open.
Right.
Like it was shit like that to where you needed all the players to get to a certain point.
Man, those were the days.
Yeah. Just figuring out some of those raids for the first time.
Yeah.
They were exciting, but they were so frustrating too.
And that was around the time where everybody just wanted everyone to just come together and figure this out. And that's when I really got into it because people were just like, oh my God, we got this secret mission. Like, let's huddle up and like do this. And that's when it was fun.
Yeah. Because up until that point, at least for our peer group, no one had ever seen a game like that.
Yeah.
If you weren't like a Final Fantasy 14 player or a World of Warcraft player, you didn't play games where a group of people got together to fight a common enemy.
Yeah.
So for console players, like this was some new shit because before this, every shooter I ever played were just like person versus person, like Call of Duty. The closest thing I probably played to a squad shooter was maybe like SOCOM or Counter-Strike,
Yeah.
where it was team against team, but it wasn't your squad against the AI.
For me, it was like Halo, which was way back in the day when Halo first came out.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. This was like a bigger co-op team party of Halo. I mean, it was made by Bungie, so
it was like Mario Party, but with shooting. You know,
yeah, it was just a fun game that you and all your friends could play together. But that excitement came with the frustration. So back to our friends, they invited us. We got in the lobby. Everyone introduced themselves. Seemed friendly at first, but it just went downhill from there. I'm gonna throw it to Shana because she experienced the backlash from this group the most.
Oh, yeah. During this time is when I really started to get more serious about streaming. But this group that we're talking about, they knew that. And during that time was also a time where playing Destiny was how I got to make friends and like be with the friends that I already had. It was just pretty much a hangout session for me. That helped the stream a lot because we would all like roll off of each other and like we, drink and have fun. And it was just a good time. This couple that we were playing Destiny with knew that. They knew what I was about. They knew that I was just a casual gamer back then, but I still wanted to play the game and still wanted to level up with them. And like, I thought it was still going to be on the same level. Like, hey, we're all friends, right? Like, let's play this game. But no, it got way more serious than that. All of a sudden, they had a problem with how I was playing the game. They had a problem with I wasn't leveled enough for them. They had a problem with me like drinking and having fun with my friends and things like that. They were too serious. They just put on the serious front out of nowhere.
Yeah, they popped in to join your game while you streamed before.
Yeah.
They knew that.
Nobody had a problem with it until it was a problem, all of a sudden.
Yeah, of course, we knew it got serious when they both got their own consoles. Up until that point, we thought they were casual gamers too. We should have known that they were getting serious once they bought another PlayStation 4, just so both of them could play at the same time. That's when they started getting mad at us.
Oh, yeah. It went from, hey, let's play this game to this is real life and we need to do this before, so we can all get levels, and it was just a big ordeal to them.
I remember one raid that they called us on the phone. Like, they hit us up and was like, hey, we're about to play this game. You guys want to get on? That's another side note, too. When people actually call you and text you to play, you know you guys were actually friends. It's not like they just messaged you on PSN or the Xbox Network or whatever. They called us and was like, hey, do you want to get on this raid?
I remember that.
Of course, we got on. Everyone introduced themselves. Shauna told the whole group in the lobby, I'm streaming right now. Is that okay? Everyone's like, yeah, it's cool. I got on. Our characters are only this level. Is that going to work? They're like, yeah. We'll carry you guys. We just need 6 people. We start the game. We're doing a raid that Shauna and I have no idea what to do. And we're just following people. That's all they told us to do. Just shoot what you can and follow. Of course, we're dying instantly. They were cool with it for like maybe the first couple deaths. Then they started getting frustrated because all 4 of them would be way ahead of us. And Sean and I would be in the back, just dead. Someone would always have to come back and revive us. We come back to life. Keep moving forward. We're dead again. I hear the squad leader, why do these 2 keep dying? This dude forgot that we're on open chat, meaning nobody has to push a button to talk. So whatever you say, everyone hears it. Our friend kept coming back for us. Revive. Finally, we're like, I thought y'all were going to carry us. Like, what happened to helping us get through? Oh, we didn't think you guys were going to die that much. So we get past the first segment of the raid. Now it's kind of like puzzle solving shit. Because that first part was just, don't get killed. Just keep running.
Right.
We get to the next part where you kind of got to jump on these platforms the right way or you fall to your death. These guys have all done it over and over again. So they know what platform to jump on. This is our first time seeing this raid. Of course, what did they do? Leave us behind. We're sitting there trying to figure out the platforms. Then finally, someone's like trying to tell us over the headphones. It's like, this is a 3D game. Like, the platform in front of me could mean 16 different platforms.
Right.
Jump straight, then jump left, and jump right. The platforms are all over the place. There's platforms above you, under you, left, right, down to left.
I
diagonal.
remember that. I'm like, what are we supposed to do?
Finally, somebody had to come back. They had to jump platforms backwards. That's how well they knew the stage. They jumped on platforms backwards to come get us.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, okay, just follow me. Someone in the team got it. But at that point, it wasn't our friend anymore. He kind of started staying quiet
Mm-hmm.
because some of these squad guys were like, who brought these guys aboard?
Mm-hmm.
So we get to that section. And of course, the next section, we have no idea what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we struggle through all that. We get to the final section where you got to fight the boss.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all starting to see the picture here, right? We are just doing terrible in this raid. Our friend has just pretended he doesn't know us anymore. We finally struggle to the very last part of the raid. It's where you fight the boss. Of course, out of all the times for them to put the full responsibility on us, this was it. This boss had some trick to it where you had to shoot these two witches on the side and shoot this thing, and then a magical weapon drops down and you can only kill the boss with that weapon, but you got to kill the boss with that weapon 3 times. I think it was like a sword or some shit, right? They're like, okay, Renji, Shana, that's your job. Since you guys don't have strong enough guns to take down anyone else, when that sword drops, you need to go get it and stab them. Of course, they didn't tell us how difficult it would be to get from where we were standing to the platform. They're like, just stand in this corner and wait till we give you the signal. Of course, we failed. And then what happened, Shana?
The group leader, he didn't say anything. I just noticed he just left. And the sidebar said, so-and-so has left the game. I'm like, so is that supposed to happen? Or like,
Yeah.
he's supposed to like disappear? And then another person left.
Mhm.
And another person left. And then finally our friends, that were supposed to be our friends in the game, was like, you know what? We're just going to do this some other time with our friends. So you guys can just go ahead and do what you want to do on your own. They left the game, turned off the chat. And we were just still in the raid like, ha.
Yeah, just looking at this boss that we can't kill.
So I go and text these people because, again, we do know these people in person. Text the couples, ask them, hey, what was that about? Like, it starts to get awkward about halfway through and homeboy wasn't talking anymore. And, we were left to fend for ourselves. And then y'all just left. And then just, they just pulled the plug basically. And I'm like, are y'all okay? Like, what's going on? And because they didn't say anything. And they were like, yeah, sorry, we're just going to play by ourselves because we're at a certain level and you guys aren't. We know that. But we just don't want to play with you guys anymore. And I'm like, okay. And then, like, I was starting to get heated because we were all supposed to be playing this game. We were having fun. I thought we were having fun. But the point is, there wasn't a lot of communication.
Mm-hmm.
We had told them at the start, like, hey, this is what it is. I'm streaming. We're under-leveled. We're this and that. Whatever. Is that cool? Initially, it was fine. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't. So then I started getting heated because I'm taking it personally because we know these people.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went from texting them to calling them.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone with these people like, hey, that was really rude. Like, I'm in the middle of my stream, and it kind of made me look bad that y'all are, just making this big fuss and everything and making us look like, we're the enemy and shit like that. So can you explain what's going on?
Mm-hmm. I still remember that night. It got very heated. It was bad enough that this whole squad was yelling at us to the point where Shana almost started crying. Mind you, we were drinking, so we're kind of intoxicated and getting emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Then for our friends not to even stand up for us, mind you, our friends in real life, we've invited them to our house after Anime Expo or whatever con was at the LA Convention Center because they could just walk over.
Yeah.
They were looking for something to do afterwards. We got them passes to after parties. We had hookups for.
Yeah.
We've done a lot for these couple. So Shauna's on the phone with them, and they're just being like total dicks and not even trying to be cool. I was just shocked that they were just so for their online Destiny friends than us. Then they just had the nerve to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is way too much drama for me. And they pretty much hung up on us.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, okay.
They just seemed like they were just through with dealing with us or
Yeah.
dealing with the situation. It's like, we're actual friends. Like, we can actually talk to you in
Mhm.
this way. I couldn't talk to their friends like that because we don't know them.
Yeah, it's not like we were yelling at them. We were just trying to talk to them and just tell them that was messed up. Like, that kind of hurt that you would set us up for failure.
Right.
Like, we're your friend. Why would you let your online friends yell at your real life friends like that, knowing damn well you brought us to that party?
Oh, yeah.
So needless to say, that was probably the moment where our friendship just started trickling away quickly.
Shortly after that, in real life, IRL, we tried to patch things up. Long story short, they pretty much let the same thing happen in real life. They pretty much let their friends feel a type of way about us and didn't stand up for us, didn't say anything, they weren't friends at all. They weren't good people at the end of the day. And that kind of just solidified our breakup from them
Yeah.
because they just were shit people at the end of the day. They just did not want to stand up for us. We weren't friends in their mind. It was just like we were just people that they just hung out with. And honestly, when we did hang out at conventions, I kind of got that feeling like we were bothering them sometimes, or they just wanted to do stuff with their little friends. And mind you, their little friends were actual little friends. They were all younger than our groups together. They were all younger people, and they would stand up for these little kids over people who
These
were
minors.
minors that weren't like anybody's friend, really. They were just like standing up for people that they didn't really know. And I'm like, but you know us.
Yeah, I felt like we were their like stepladder in
Yeah.
the con life. When we met them, they didn't have any con friends. It was
Mhm.
only those two.
Yeah.
And how we met them because we are cosplaying from the same show, and they called me over by the character name,
Yeah.
and we just started hanging out, and then we became friends that way. But that same night, I was able to round up like 10 other people cosplaying from the same series,
Mhm.
and then we all became friends through that. Anyways, as the months went on and we went to more cons, we helped build their friend group.
Mm-hmm.
It would be fair to say they wouldn't have some of the friends they have now if it wasn't for us.
Right. That's a fair statement because they didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
We brought those people together.
Yeah, they didn't have any con friends.
Mhm.
So then we became friends on Destiny, and we had Destiny friends. But then after Destiny, back to what Shana was saying, we still saw them at cons, and we were still trying to hang out with them. We had let that Destiny shit go, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They were trying to like stray away from us, but they weren't being so upfront about it.
They were very passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Very.
Then it got to the final breaking point. We're at a con in LA. I think it was the last WonderCon in LA, but that doesn't really matter. It was like a Friday or Saturday night. Everyone was looking for something to do because Comic Cons around here don't always have raves or dances. You got to find an after party. They had just met a photographer earlier that day that did some shoots with them. He knew of a party on the top floor of the JW Marriott Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at us and says, before I bring you guys all in, the host of the party wants me to take a picture of everybody. He wants to see who's coming up, and I need all your social media names. I was already turned off by that. I've been to a lot of con parties. In my entire con life, I had never heard of any arrogant shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of intoxicated. I was drunk. I just started snapping because by that point, that couple's passive aggressiveness and their attitude around their new friend started getting to me. And then we got to this moment. I snapped. I'm like, so you're telling me we have to audition and send a resume to go to your friend's party? He's like, yeah, it's a party on the rooftop pool, so we can't just invite anybody. Huh. So it's a party on the public rooftop pool.
I was just about to say that.
I live right down the street. I know that pool up there is public.
Uh-huh.
He's like, well, no. He's booked out the whole thing and only certain people can go. So, if you guys want to just stand in line so I can start taking your pictures. My The couple, I should say, not my friend. The couple were like, no, Renji, just chill. Let's just. I'm like, no. Chill? What does your friend do? Is he a millionaire? Because I know ain't no cosplayer got the money to book up the entire roof of the JW Marriott.
We used to live right down the street from that place.
One night at that hotel is like $300.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me he booked out the whole thing exclusively? I'm like, tell me more about this party. Is Rihanna up there? Is someone performing? And then my friend's like, dude, just chill, man. I'm like, okay. So I kept my mouth shut for the sake of the group. And then the guy's like going down the line, trying to take everyone's picture. And then he's like, my friend said, all y'all can come up, but you got to bring a bottle of liquor each. Wait, a bottle each? What you got up there? Just milk? I was like, am I going to audition for a party just to drink some chocolate milk? And I had snapped. I was like, so this dude booked out the entire pool, but ain't got no liquor. He only got milk and juice, right? And my friend's just like, Renji, can you stop? I was like, no, this is some bullshit. I'm like, you full of shit, your friend full of shit, your photography ain't even that good, and you trying to be a middleman for some big shot upstairs at a public pool? Nah, screw that. I ain't dealing with this shit. I'm going up there right now. And then the photographer was like, no, you can't, man, you can't. I'm like, what are you going to do?
Stop me. You going to take my picture and look me up on Facebook?
I know. You're going to send my picture to your friend who's got chocolate milk only?
Y'all, Renji had his love and hip hop moment, and I was so jealous. I'm like, you didn't even let me get a word in. Like, I couldn't even, like, lick one. Like, come on.
No, I snapped. And then, like, I started walking away, but then, like, I still had some friends that were in that group, and they were trying to get me to come back. But, like, the Destiny couple is just like, can't believe he just said that. And then comes to find out later that they all did go to that party, and it sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And then my one friend that was still in that group was like, yeah, that couple was talking mad shit about you guys, and they were just planning out how they're not going to be your friends anymore. And I was like, wow, that's really childish just to be like, oh, I'm not going to be friends with them anymore.
Oh, but after that, they still follow us, both of us, on Instagram, still all up in my stories to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still like, you know, trying to see where the get down is and what's there to do to have fun and stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever they said and however they felt back then didn't mean shit, because they're still trying to be a part of our friendship and still trying to do that, and still they're full of shit. Them being shitty people already, but Destiny just made it all like go downhill from there. It just made it worse.
Yeah, they had the nerve to tell my other friend that we were being shitty. We were ruining an opportunity for them to meet these people at this party, that we ruined it all for them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, didn't you just say y'all did go to that party?
Mm-hmm.
How did I ruin anything? I kept it real, and y'all went and y'all spent money buying bottles of liquor just to go to a lame-ass party.
Yeah, it's like the way that party was set up was very disrespectful, first off. You don't do that. It's like, what are you going to find out in the 5 seconds of someone looking at someone's Instagram page or Facebook page in order for this person to go to a party that's not even private at all? That was a public area that people can go to no matter what their Instagram says or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to get my respect by being that way off the bat, you know?
Yeah. Like, why would you even want to go to a party like that?
Exactly.
That's just stupid.
And then for them to just hang out with minors and hang out with people like that, then it's like, okay, I see what kind of people you are now. You just want a yes man. You just want a yes group that's just going to go along with what you want to do because you're the oldest people of the group and you're like the ringleaders. We found them on the side of the road looking for something to do, and then we introduced them to all of their friends that they're still probably friends with now.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't know because I don't really keep up with them.
Oh, yeah, that is a true fact, because one of the times I did see them after that, they had a whole cosplay group together of just all the friends that we introduced them
I was
to.
like, oh, is that so-and-so? Hey, girl. Oh, hey, is that so-and-so? Hey, girl. Yeah, we introduced you to all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, because we still had some loyal friends in that group, and they were just like, hey, they would still say, what's up? But, of course, they would also snitch on those two and just be like, yeah, ever since that pool party that you snapped on, they just don't want to have anything to do with you because they don't know when you're going to explode. Renji's kind of a loose cannon. We can't trust him around our new friends.
Your new friends who are underage that we introduced you to. Okay, whatever.
No. Correction. We didn't introduce him to the underage friends.
Oh, right.
We introduced him to the older friends, and then somehow they recruited a bunch of minors. So let's correct that. We don't be introducing people to minors.
Oh, no. Hell no.
All right, moving on from the Destiny people. That's getting me mad all over again.
Oh, yeah. Because I can go on and on and on about the Destiny friends that I lost, and, it's going to take forever to explain.
Yeah, even what we just told you now was like a brief of how deep it got with them, because that was only one session. That was the final session, but there were other times where we did play with them and got the same bullshit. Their friends yell at us, but we made it through. The story we just told you was the final session with them. Yeah. But that was only one group. There were other groups that we used to play with. Same deal. We all had a fallout with them at some point as well.
Oh, yeah.
It got to a point to where they were getting mad that we didn't know the shortcuts now. We learned how to do the raids the regular way, the way the game was meant to be played. Some of these tryhards started learning secrets and hacks like, okay, so if you jump off the cliff right here and die, you will respawn across the other side.
It was that simple in some of the parts, but there was parts where they're like, okay, now you got to turn your flashlight on this part and do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around and then die, and then that's how you win the game. I'm like, how did you even know that? They get mad at us like, what do you mean you're not a tryhard? I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, at some point, you couldn't keep up with all the hacks and the tricks and the secrets because Bungie did a good job of updating Destiny.
Yeah.
So anytime someone exposed a hack on YouTube and put it up there, Bungie would figure it out and they would put a patch up and you couldn't do it anymore. We couldn't keep up with what worked anymore.
I know. It was like a circus. It's like, yes, in hindsight, all you have to do is look up a YouTube video. Everyone's doing it, whatever. That wasn't the point. The point that I wanted to make here that we just touched upon was that it just kept changing. Big quests, the raid, everything would always change. Like, okay, this week you have to use this certain kind of gun to get through the first part, and then you have to use another gun to get through the second part. But if you weren't keeping up with people or the tryhards and everything like that, you weren't gonna know naturally. There was just no way.
Yeah, also you don't know what group you're playing with. You don't know who knows what.
Right.
For the raids at the time, before all the DLCs and expansion packs came out, Shana and I only knew how to do it the normal way and maybe one shortcut hack way. But like I said, you can't keep up with all the new things people are figuring out.
Right. There was just no way. If you think the tryhards are bad now, where do you think they learned it from? You know? It was just a lot to keep up with. At some point, it's just like, okay, you know what? How do you play? So I can learn how to play the way you play.
Yeah.
We have to rely on these people to get us through the game because if you're trying to get matched up with someone random, you can forget it.
Yeah, long story short, as much as we love that game, we bought the first couple DLCs. We went to E3 and we waited in line for 2 hours to try the new expansion pack out. We got the t-shirts and all that shit. We were so hyped. But once that DLC came out after the year one expansion came out, we just stopped playing the raids at some point. It was just too much stress. Too many man babies online just crying about everyone not being as good as they are. And
I'm glad that Outriders is taking the time to cut all of that out because that's what's going to make a good game shitty, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. It's stuff like that. And I'm sure Outriders will have their tryhards show up and ruin it. You don't have to play with them. That's the one thing I've learned. I'm glad that there is no big 6-man requirement yet. We don't know what the end game content is going to be. One of the developers was just like, well, so far we do have end game content, but it's only going to be 3-man requirements. You got to be strong at the end of the game.
The creators have to be careful with what they say also, because they don't want to say too much right now because they know these tryhards and these people that do these mods and everything are going to figure it out and break it before everybody else can get a chance to play it. I'm thinking that they're trying to keep it hush hush, we're going to keep that and save it for when the game actually comes out.
Yeah.
There's only 3 more days until it does, so just wait.
Yeah. And it's just like, I just never understood the purpose of tryhard culture.
Right.
Is there like a community of other assholes that pat you on your back? Like, congratulations, you beat the game and got every weapon the first night. Now let's all talk shit to other people together. Like, is there like a association? Do you get a tryhard card? Like, what is it about being a tryhard that is so appealing to people?
I don't know. And I miss the days back when people used to buy Game Informer to, skip to the back of the magazine to find all the cheat codes that only the creator made. Like, so you could find it on purpose, But now with this life of hackers and modders and like all these people, there's just no telling.
Nobody wants to play with a tryhard.
Mm-hmm.
In our case, in Outriders, this guy destroyed everyone on screen before we even got to look at what the enemies were like.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, you're not leaving anything for us. Like, yes, not all games have to be Dark Souls hard, Demon Souls hard, Bloodborne hard, where you just die in seconds. But people want somewhat of a challenge. People want to at least experience the game.
And I'm starting to realize that that's why they made games like Dark Souls and stuff like that, just so there is somewhat of a challenge.
Yeah, I just don't get what is the appeal of the try-hard culture. Okay, once again, disclaimer, I'm not talking about the people who have Let's Play YouTube channels and they want to be the first to beat a game and put it online.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. That's professional. You're doing it for a reason.
Right.
You got a YouTube channel or you got a Twitch and you want to be exclusive and have the new content first. That's a whole different world. Or you're just a hardcore gamer and you just want to beat a game and you got a whole backlog of shit you want to do.
Yeah.
Boom. Move on to the next ones. When we say try hard, we're talking about the jump on your game, jump in your live stream. Why aren't you farming? I already got 12 million legendaries. Talking about those kind of people. Talking about the people that yell at other people for not being as leveled as they are in team matches.
That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about people who just have a genuine interest in the game. No. We're talking about the crybabies out there who just want to do everything at once and then cry about not being able to get past a patch and cry about, not being able to mod this and mod that. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, we're talking about the people trying way too hard for no damn reason beyond vanity and talking shit.
I played with this one guy on Destiny who I swear he thought he was going to the Olympics or something for leveling out hit all 3 or 4 characters in Destiny. I'm like, dude, you going to the NFL after this? Like, what you gonna do with this success of yours? It was horrible. He would just come in my stream all the time and just be like, hey, guess what I just did? I just leveled out all my characters today. Good for you, bro. It would be like every single time.
Yeah, I remember that, dude. He'd tell you what gun he just maxed out, too. Oh, yeah, I just got the new rocket launch. It's all maxed out. Like, I don't care, dude.
So then that means you can't enjoy any more of the game until another DLC comes out. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. You spent $60 on this game, and now you're bored with it in 2 days.
You're right.
Because you stayed up for 48 hours. Congratulations.
Oh, my God. I swear.
Yeah. And then, I hate when they play with you and just act so bored.
Right.
And I was like, dude, then leave my game. I didn't ask you to join. Again, in Destiny, if you forgot to close your party, people would just join.
Oh, yeah.
And it got so annoying to where you had to boot people out of the party.
Yeah.
And that's what we did in Outriders. Just the tryhards, we just booted them out.
Yeah, at some point when they would go as far as going to my the chat party, which was different from the your game party. You have to sign in through PlayStation, get on a separate chat party and everything. People would come in just to talk shit. I would be banning people left and right, boop, 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 all day long. I'm like, oh my God, is it really that serious? Is it though?
And what also made me scratch my head was the tryhards that just went as far as just being flat out cheaters.
Oh yeah.
I get on PC, you can mod and change code in game, but I remember playing some console games, like console Call of Duty on PlayStation 3. I didn't even know you could hack a disc game like that. Where I remember I was playing a match with one of my friends on Call of Duty, and then we watched this dude that was pretty much flying in the air, Superman style, sniping people. but his sniper gun was shooting at the rate of a machine gun. And
Oh
if you
my
guys play shooter games, sniper
God.
rifles are super strong.
Yeah.
So for him just to shoot it like a machine gun, and how we caught on was instant replay. Because when you die, it shows you who killed you.
Right.
So
All of a sudden you see some
yeah,
weirdo.
we saw this dude just flying in the air with this machine gun sniper rifle. We're like,
God.
what in the hell? And then we're like, how does he even do this? If you don't respawn right away, you can follow them and see
Right.
what they're doing. This dude was just Superman with a gun. There was another time where a guy
Oh my
modded his
God.
game to where he could float through walls in the ground. So he would just sit on the ground and wait for someone to walk over him, and then he would just shoot them through the ground. Again,
Oh
this was on
my
a console. Like, how do you do this on a console?
I remember the days of Grand Theft Auto. People were figuring things out like that, like hacking a helicopter, hacking a plane or whatever. It's funny, but on like the surface. But you're trying to play a game and you're like genuinely trying to play with your friends. Like that shit's not cool at all.
Yeah. On Grand Theft Auto, it's funny to watch like in a YouTube video, but you're playing a competitive game like Call of Duty.
Right.
And do you feel better that you're cheating beyond what anyone could imagine cheating could be?
Like you want to get banned, don't you?
Yeah, and it's like, do you feel great about yourself that you've got 1,000,000 kills, but you're flying in the air like Superman?
Don't get me wrong. Like modders are a whole different breed of gamers. Like I would love to get on PC one day and just like mod the F out of games and stuff like that because it is funny to see that kind of shit.
Yeah, like modding for fun is awesome.
Yeah.
Like people modding Skyrim and switching out the dragon for like Thomas the Tank Engine or something. I've seen that mod, or Macho Man
Right.
Randy Savage as a giant spider. Like that shit's funny because it's innocent fun, but you're playing this game thinking you're a badass.
I don't even know what these people think.
And one of those dudes, I forgot he was Superman or the ground digging guy, was talking mad shit in the chat too. Like, oh, I got all of you.
Oh my. Okay, so now that's
Again,
crossing the line.
that's when it becomes a try hard.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff for YouTube and stuff like that. Like you're trying it out for the first time.
Yeah.
That's funny because why would you look up in a game like Call of
Yeah.
Duty? You know.
Yeah. Like I said, it's one thing if you're just doing it for fun and it's
Right.
you and your
You're
friends.
just messing around,
But if you're actually taking it serious and thinking you're a badass for the shit you're doing or cheating, like, no, you're not a badass.
Billy Badass has entered the game.
I know.
Okay.
Of course, once enough people got killed by Superman with a gun, we booted him from the match.
Mhm.
Is it fun to keep getting booted from matches for the 2 seconds of, haha, I cheated?
Oh
I
my
just
God.
don't get it. This tryhard culture, I just don't get it. It's always just left a stank in my booty that I can't wash off. You know it's there, but you try to ignore it, but that smell just keeps creeping up your nose.
Another online game that I was excited for at first, but quickly got turned off by the tryhards was Fallout 76. A lot of you guys know I love Fallout 4. Fallout 4 was like my favorite game of all time. I thought, okay, 76 is going to come out. It's supposed to be an online game. Not really too keen on like online games as it was before that. But I'm like, I'll give it a try. I'll see. Like, it's still Fallout at the end of the day. Boy, was I wrong. Here we go again with the tryhards. As soon as people got the gist of the game and were allowed to play with each other online, it just went from innocent Fallout game to like, oh God, here we go again with the tryhards. One part of the game is you have to build a camp, basically for yourself, to live off the land, to go back to have like somewhat of a home base where you can like heal up and do what you got to do. You can build your camp like how you could in Fallout 4. Like you can make it look however you want, wherever you want to build it at. That was my favorite part of the game because that was my favorite part of Fallout 4. You could build communities. So I'm building. I'm just peacefully just making my base and making it look nice. Here comes some jackass. I believe he was wearing one of the helmets that was like crazy, like a big cat head or something.
Yeah.
He had modded a weed whacker. He comes at me with this modified weed whacker wearing this big old cat head, just going at me, just trying to like beat my ass and like trying to like kill me while I'm mid building something. And I'm like, dude, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like I'm on a
Yeah.
top of a hill with a lake around me. Like I'm like in my scenery right now. I'm in my
Yeah.
natural habitat. Because when that happens, you have to exit the game. You got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
During the specific time, Fallout was still getting the gist of like their servers and everything. So
Mhm.
it did take a long time to finally land a spot. And like, because sometimes if you have your camp build in the same place as somebody else playing, you can't, you have to like start all over again, wait again. Sometimes it would take me up to like half an hour to play the damn game. So after that guy came at me and was trying to kill me, I had to exit out and start completely over. And that was the start of the downfall.
Yeah.
From there. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't just play this game and just be by myself because so and so on this server is going to follow me no matter where I go. Because another trick is if you don't want that person following you, you have to exit completely out and then try to get on a different server because that person can still find you even if you
Yeah.
block them. The tryhards really did kill my vibe on that game.
Yeah, killing people in Fallout 76 really didn't serve much of a purpose.
Right.
You might get the loot that they're carrying on them, but they even punished you on it and they labeled you like a murderer.
Yeah.
And you would show up as a red dot. And if other players could take you down, like they would get a bounty or some reward for taking in a murderer.
And I get that. And that was supposed to add to the game. But also, you have to exit out the whole game and try to find a different server if you saw red dots around your area. And I hated seeing that. So I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to play the game. Like, I really just want to get through this part without any interruption. But then I would, like, pop on this server, 6 or 7 dots around me. Pop into another server, waited 30 more minutes, 10 red dots all around. I'm like, can I just play this game?
Yeah, most of the time, the people killers in that game were just tryhards.
Yeah.
They were just bored with their own game, so they just resorted to killing other players. It's shit like that that turns me off from any of these like online games.
It's an open world RPG. Like, you can literally do whatever you want. Why do you feel a need to poke other people? Like, go throw yourself at a rat roach or something, or, you know?
I know. Go find something to masturbate to. Go do something. Go find a tree that you really like and customize it to be the man or woman of your dreams and just not all over your keyboard. Do something else than mess with other players.
There was so much to that game that I missed out on because of these damn tryhards. And I don't know how they might have changed it and made it better by now, but like I'm just over it.
Yeah, most people quit before they could find out that there were any changes.
Yeah, so I'm over it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, tryhards killed a lot of these kind of games for me.
Yeah, and sadly, I hear that Fallout 76 is fixed. That if you were to start it now, fresh, with new eyes, you would actually enjoy the game. Because they fixed all their bugs over the years. But it's things like tryhards on top of the glitches of the early launch that have ruined it for people.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're a tryhard out there, I hope you're offended because you should be.
You should be.
You are ruining games for so many people.
And it's like, if that's fun for you, that's why in Outriders, why they label everybody cheaters so that you can play with like people together so you don't ruin anyone else's experience.
If you want to be a tryhard, just keep that shit to yourself or keep that amongst your peer group. Like, to be honest, no one is impressed.
No.
Nobody cares. Like, people like us on the outside, if we don't know you in real life and you're going to join our game, join our live stream chat just to brag about what you got, nobody cares.
They should have labeled them Cartman from
Yeah.
from South Park. Like, hey, look what I got. You don't have one of these. Like, that's the kind of voice you have in my head. These like tryhard people, like, oh my God, look what I got.
Yeah.
Like Cartman.
Most people are not impressed, and they especially don't want you playing the game with them because you're going to ruin it either by opening your mouth or you're going to ruin it by being so overpowered that no one else gets to play the game.
Right.
Or you'll do things like spoil plot lines. I forgot to even talk about that, where someone's already beat that part of the game and they'll be like, 3, 2, 1, and he dies. Like, just ruining story points. That's happened to me on an online game. I'm watching the cinema for the first time, but this guy's already seen it. I've had guys just recite it word for word, dubbing along with what the guy's going to say before he even says it. And then you have to go online and be like, can you please shut up? I've never seen this part of the game.
Especially if you're there watching it at that time.
Yeah.
I'm going to see it, so let me see it. Why do you have to open your big mouth?
Anyways, I'm just getting heated about these tryhards. I'm trying to be hyped about Outriders coming out April 1st. Well, luckily, there's 2 of us, and the game only requires 3 people. So we should be able to make it through most of the game with just us 2, so we don't have to include a third if we don't need one or want one.
And for those of you out there, if you're worried about this kind of thing too, just play with your friends, play with people that you know, because honestly, when you do these public matches and whatever, you never know what you're gonna get or who's gonna show up in your stream or who's gonna show up in your game or whatever the case may be. So just play with people that you know, people who are like level as you, and just have a good time. You don't have to worry about these people because these people in this game, luckily, are gonna be grouped together, so they don't ever have to reach out to you if you don't allow it.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of Outriders, and I can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah. Yep. So if y'all gonna play Outriders, hit us up in the comments. Let us know if you're playing in what console. Make sure y'all follow us on Twitch because we do community nights where we do let a random third player play with us. We'll send out the game code so you can join our game specifically. You're not going to be matched with someone random. It's going to be us.
Yeah.
The only catch with that is because we're streaming, we may not have team chat going on. So you might not be able to communicate with us because we do have to also cater to the stream. And I find it distracting when we put team chat into the stream. So that's why I don't include it. But then I also don't want to be talking to someone on the headset and the stream is going to be like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
For how Shana and I play co-op on Outriders is we're in the same room.
Right.
There's one streaming station right here, as y'all see behind us, but then there's another game station over in the corner. So we're playing co-op, old school LAN party style, where we're in the same room, so we don't need headsets to communicate with each other with what's going on in the game. So we're still trying to figure out the best way to do a third person and still communicate. But if y'all get Outriders and y'all want to play, y'all can play with us. Also, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you get the entire game for free at launch. So lucky to you Xbox players out there with Game Pass. Because for us, we got to shell out real money for 2 copies of this damn game so we can play co-op together in the same house. So yeah, check out Outriders. It's a great way to hang out with us if y'all
this
trying to get down.
This isn't sponsored, by the way.
No, it's not. God, I wish. Not sponsored by Square Enix. Not sponsored by anybody.
I wish, because we are going to play the shit out of this game, and I can't wait.
It's just, if this game stays solid, like how the demo has been, it's a Square Enix game. It's made by the same people that made Gears of War and Bulletstorm. Also solid games and solid series. So I'm just hyped. Destiny kind of scarred us for a little bit, but this game has brought faith back into a squad shooter for us. And plus, it's third-person view. I love third-person view shooter games. I hate first-person view, so I'm excited about that. So that's why we're talking about it, because when this podcast drops, the game should be out. And we've also been just looking for a game like this to play with other people. Just a casual, everyone's just working towards the same goal. So it's a great way for you guys to interact with us. If you want to do more than just watch on the live stream, if you actually want to play, this is how we can all play, because we're definitely going to be playing off stream as well. So there's going to be times where we just want to play just to play, and it's always going to be nice to have a third, especially in a game designed to have 3 people. So anyways, let's wrap it up. Long story short, don't be a tryhard. Nobody cares. No one's impressed. It's not going to get you laid. It's not going to boost your credit score. It's not going to get someone to give you a hand job. That's on you.
You're not going to the Olympics. You're not joining the NFL. You're not joining the NBA. So just cut it, all right?
If it makes you happy that you have all the gear, all the guns, cool. Be happy for yourself. Do not put that on us, anyone else. Don't be a tryhard to brag, to talk shit, to make yourself feel more superior than anyone else. Because to be honest, nobody cares but you.
Right.
You're just going to look stupid at the end of the day, and you're just going to lose friends. I'm sorry. That's the truth. I have actual friends that I don't play games with anymore because they are tryhards.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. So best believe a complete stranger that doesn't know you, you're going to get blocked and banned from their server or their Twitch. their PlayStation Network in a quickness. Whew. Oh, God. Heated. But yeah, like always, make sure y'all follow the social medias. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, hit that thumbs up. If there's a game that a tryhard has ruined for you, let us know in the comments. Let us know what they did to make you not like that game anymore. As always, we appreciate you guys spending your time with us, checking out this podcast. If y'all watching on YouTube, just want to remind you that this podcast is available on all major streaming platforms. I had said that to someone in a stream, and they're like, "What's that?" They thought that our podcast was only available on podcast platforms. No, this podcast is available anywhere you stream music. I'm talking Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio. Those are just some of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
You can find this podcast on some of the lesser known streaming services too. Like, it's everywhere. You just got to look up Shinobi Squad Podcast and you can download it for free. Listen to that shit in your car. You ain't got to use data. You ain't got to use anything. So if you work out, have long drives to work, you can have this podcast playing because most of these episodes go for at least an hour. So we're here to keep you company. You take big shits and you just have nothing else to do and you need something to keep you company while you take those big shits. I am here to hold your hand while you take that big shit. That's how much we love you guys.
Everybody has that image in their heads.
I don't even want to talk about being in the same room as someone taking a shit. I'll save that for another story. Anyways, but we are here for you no matter what you're doing in your day and you just need company. That's what we're here for. We're here to make you laugh. We're here to help you learn. And you can bitch along with us about things like tryhards. We are here for you. The Shinobi Squad Podcast got your back. But all right, guys, I've said enough. And you're probably still thinking about someone holding your hand while you shit. So with that said, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.